Hey guys, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Here's how this works, okay, in case you're new. And first of all, thank you very much. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the blog. If you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher, thank you for that. Here's how this works. You email me, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, or find me on any social network. Today's question is from Cyberdust, one of my favorite, and I'll give you an answer, and I'll keep you anonymous, and unless you specifically request that I mention who you are. But most people want to be anonymous, like today's question, again, from Cyberdust. So add me on there, Dan Sfera. So today's question is from someone who was hired at a research site. It's actually wasn't a research site until she got there. It was a large medical practice with about 4 or 5 different doctors. They specialize in psychiatry, neurology trials, and so they hired this person to revive their research program. So I guess they did have a research program in the past. For whatever reason it kind of failed, or it was failing, and they brought in this person to basically do everything, revive the entire program. Meaning getting studies for them, recruiting patients, although they had their own database, but you still have to extract the patients from that. Someone has to go in those files and look at who qualifies, go through the inclusion-exclusion criteria. So this person was getting studies, getting patients, being the study coordinator, entering data, doing everything. Okay, and they started her out at $15 an hour, which is acceptable for someone who is brand new to research. I've actually paid several employees in California, where our wages are among the highest in the nation, $13 to $15 an hour for someone brand new, completely inexperienced, zero experience in research. After that, we have 3-month reviews where we establish metrics, we look at how they're progressing, and we increase the salary gradually. Every 3 months we'll have a review. After a while it's every year. So this person, I guess, hasn't even had an annual review yet. So she was successful. She was able to bring in studies. She was able to recruit patients. She was doing all the coordinating work. She revived the research program. She accomplished what they brought her in to do, and now she's feeling like she is stuck because all she's doing is spinning her wheels and producing results, yet each time she asks for an annual review so she can possibly get a raise, which she does deserve, they're telling her that's not possible. We don't know what metrics to judge you by. And there's 2 reasons, or there's multiple reasons for that, but number one, I think, is just whoever's running this practice, especially if it's a doctor. Most doctors I know don't have any time for this kind of stuff. They don't have time for annual reviews. They need office managers to actually serve as the HR department for their staff. And sometimes they throw in research into the same mix. So, it's very rare that you'll find an MD who actually takes the time, and has the time, first of all, to dedicate to actually building his business, building the HR department, even if it's a small practice or a small clinic. So that's one reason, lack of time. Another one is they don't want to pay you. Look, you may not know this, and for anyone watching, if you watch any of my videos, I've been very, very transparent about the kind of money that research sites get. So if you're enrolling patients, especially in a CNS trial, central nervous system, if you're enrolling what your contract says you should enroll, you're making anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000. You're making the site anywhere between $100K to $300K for each study. So that should just give you an idea of what you're generating. Basically, it's all your activity if you're the only staff member handling all the work. And we're missing some details here. And so that's just, you can do that math on the back of an envelope and figure out your value, what you're bringing versus what you're actually getting paid. So I would say definitely make sure that you talk to somebody about this. The good thing for you is that they seem to be dependent on you, so they can't just let you go. They're not going to kill their golden goose that's laying the golden egg. And you're in a very good position. I think what would be fair for you at this point is 60 to even like 100K. And if they're willing to bring on other coordinators for you to manage, if I were you, I'd be willing to take a pay cut, maybe go, instead of 100K, get somewhere between 60 to 75K a year, and bring in some coordinators so that you can start delegating some tasks to them and managing them, and really building up the research department and making it separate from the medical practice as far as how they manage it. So you be the HR, and I'm really into HR this year in 2015 going forward. I have a lot of ideas for how to motivate coordinators, motivate staff members. A lot of it is commission based. I mean, for you to get 15 an hour is fine when you're first starting out, but you should definitely have an increase in salary. You should definitely have some kind of bonus in place where you get paid X amount of dollars once you enroll X amount of patients per month or in a study, whatever it is. Maybe develop some metrics. If you need help, email me and I'll send you the metrics that we use for our coordinators and some of the formulas we use. At one of my sites, for example, we try to have an average of 8 visits a week going on consistently, and we told the coordinator if he is able to maintain this level of activity, 8 visits a week for 2 months in a row, he'll get a bonus. And we do that every 2 months, so that gives him an incentive to make sure that he's working as hard as he can and enrolling within the guidelines of the protocol, but he's making sure screenings are coming to the office, and he's following up, making sure that every study participant lead that they get emailing the site or calling the site or stopping by a chance to come in and get screened. So there's a lot of different things we can do. There's a lot of different metrics you can put in place. Email me or give me a call if you need help with this, but that's just to give you an idea of what I think is fair for you. And I'm sure these guys would give in because it sounds like they're dependent on you. Alright, let me know your thoughts, and if any other sites out there have similar type of questions they'd like me to answer. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care, guys.